The best week of Season 1 and Year 6, a week of overpowered builds and massive XP. That's right, the Reanimated Global event has arrived.
Piece of shit wristwatch.
So the Reanimated event is a buff to you, and there's not really a buff to the NPCs. That's what makes it one of the best. And you're gonna get a 3x headshot damage increase. And that's enough to turn almost any weapon into a one-shot kill beast. The reason why Reanimated events are important is because you earn red stars. Red stars act as a currency that you can spend at this vendor. This vendor is only open when there's a global event active. Any unused red stars will be lost when the event ends. And this vendor sells exotic caches as well as named item caches. Two very important things, especially if you're new in this game and trying to get all of the best gear. And for those of us that have been playing for a long time, we use these to collect those exotics just to deconstruct them and then pump those materials back into the expertise system to make us even stronger. So what goes on in the Reanimated event, it's sort of like a zombie mode. So if you don't kill an enemy with a headshot, they can get back up. But if you do kill them with a headshot, then it emits this green cloud of smoke. That green cloud of smoke heals you and is corrosive to the enemy. So the more green smoke, the better. So by playing this event, you're gonna get access to this rewards track. And what you gotta do is basically earn red stars in order to progress up it. So you earn red stars by leveling up your character while the global event is active. So for each level, you get 1 red star. Also know within the event, you have these daily challenges, and these are gonna give you bonus red stars as well. Most of these I just complete passively. Okay, so it's all about those red stars. And now you know that you gotta level up your character to earn them. To level up your character, you need lots of XP. So XP equals best gear in the game. And so ideally, you want to run all directives. Each directive is going to give you 25% more XP. On top of that, up to 10% improved drop rate on targeted loot. But directives can be a pain in the butt, no doubt. But some global events, like Reanimated, make running directives not so painful. And that means you're looking for a build that makes running all directives with the Reanimated event turned on seem very easy. And that's the build I bring to you today. Also, be sure to stick around after the build. I got a few tips for you newer players when it comes to XP farming and farming for exotics. You want a quick killer. This is the build I am recommending today. It's basically a twist on our XP farm build, which I have a full breakdown of that. This build does work outside of this global event, except for the primary weapon that I'm going to recommend. I'm running sharpshooter so that I have access to the TAC 50. Totally don't have to. Honestly, it's just for the TAC 50. You can actually run whatever you want here. So you can even run survivalist or gunner if you want 10% more armor on kill. All is good, but we're pretty good on our survivability with this build. Just chose this because I wanted long range access with the TAC 50. Okay, we're running 4 pieces of Hunter's Fury. We're not running shotguns or SMGs, not worried about that, but we do want that 20% armor on kill and the health on kill, which is great. So we have the Apex Predator. That's giving us 20% amplified damage when we're inside 15 meters. Since we're running and gunning and using our pistol as a primary, that's ideal. So when you kill an enemy, it's going to create this disorient status effect. That's why I'm running this, so that I can hold them still for a quick second as I wipe them off the planet. You're also going to get stacked amplified damage on kill, but we don't even really need it. It's nice to have. So I have armor just about everywhere and then headshot damage everywhere. So that's the equation, and it's still overpowered. I could nerf this build even more, but I left it as it is in case you're running in group. Headshot damage and armor on the gloves. The knees are armor and more headshot damage, and the holster is, you guessed it, armor headshot damage. The chest is DNH. You don't have to run DNH, but that 20% pistol damage helps that first kill happen a little bit faster. We got weapon handling and headshot damage, and headhunter is an absolute must. So that's giving you 1,250% increased damage based off of your last headshot kill. And we're throwing out massive numbers because of that. So for my primary and secondary weapon, I'm not really using them, well, in rare cases, but I am using the 1886 because it accumulates a ton of ammo and it's pretty darn powerful. And I have determined on that, which allows you to chain kill to the body. And then for the backup, I'm using the Nemesis for tanky bosses mostly. And then this is the primary, which is going to be a surprise to you. Yup, I chose a PX4 Storm Type F. And why? For its RPM and its balance of damage, and an extremely large mag. So I got pistol damage, damage to targets out of cover. It's got a 1.6 second reload. That's 28 kills in the mag, by the way. And then determined. So after killing an enemy with a headshot, the next shot landed on an enemy will be a guaranteed headshot. So the idea with this build and pistol is to spam on the head. Get your first kill and then spam mobs of enemies with body shots. using a single bullet. Yeah, it's absolutely nuts. And that's why RPM is really attractive, is because you can clear mobs and waves of enemies in split seconds. And again, you want a weapon that can kill fast because you want to kill them before the green cloud does. So just about any pistol will work for this build. You can use the Regulus, any of the revolvers like the Magnum, the D50, the Deseros is nice, by the way. The TDI card, but we don't really need a skill tier. The X45 was nice. I almost selected that one as my favorite. They're pretty close, but I decided to go with a little less RPM and a little bit more damage. It just felt a little bit better, but it's basically the same, totally preference here. So go with whatever your favorite pistol is. Just make sure you run determined. And the mods, I chose extra rounds, headshot damage, and optimal range. Then I'm running the Bang Bang skin. Okay, the backpack is the memento. Very important piece to this build. So it's giving us the 3 cores. I have headshot damage here, but it's all about kill confirmed. Really, the bonus armor. We're getting 10% bonus armor for every blue core. We have 5 of those. So that's 50% bonus armor on top of the 20% armor on kill. That's 70% armor on kill effectively. And we're stacking that 50% armor on kill. So 50, 100, 150, 200. And we're killing fast enough where we get crazy amounts of armor. And those last 10 seconds, and then you're gonna have 3% armor regen on top of that when you're at full stack of backpack trophies. It's all quite ridiculous. You're gonna have 30% skill efficiency, 30% weapon damage, and then you're gonna get 10% more weapon damage on kill when you grab those trophies on top of the 30% weapon damage, which you don't really need. Again, nice to have. For skills, I'm running the decoy and I'm running an attack drone. It's not doing much damage. It will have 30% skill efficiency on it, but the reason why is the attack or striker drone acts like another decoy. It distracts enemies, just allowing you to kill them a little bit faster. But you don't want to run a shield. The idea here is that the blue armor or your bonus armor is your shield. That allows you to play fast and absorb damage and refresh that armor constantly. When you're using a shield, you move slower, and so you're going to clear content slower or be at risk of your shield breaking and being disorientated and then dropped to the ground. Agility, speed, those are your best friends for survivability, as well as clearing tons of content fast so you can rake in massive XP and of course earn yourself tons of exotic caches. We're running 210% headshot damage on this build, and that's plenty, and you're good to go. Here's what makes Reanimated one of the best, if not the best global event in the game. You come right out of the gate with that extra headshot damage, that 3 times normal headshot damage. So you do want to run headshot builds. You don't have to, but if you're looking to run all 5 directives, you don't want ammo to be an issue. So 1 shot, 1 kill is really attractive here, especially pistol build. Kill them with the headshot, move on. You can clear content extremely quickly. But let me warn you, you're extremely overpowered in this event. So to come out here and play with an all red build with maximum headshot damage is so unnecessary, it's crazy. Believe it or not, and I know you're gonna have a hard time chewing on this one, but the name of the game for the Reanimated global event is how low can you go? That's the type of build that you're creating because you're so strong. So what you're looking to do is shift. You're not looking to nerf your build. What you're looking to do is shift or transfer damage to utility on your build. So that way you can increase your survivability and run around like John Wick and clear content quickly. As a result, an exhilarating build. And you do need a build that can kill quickly. Because that corrosive green cloud is killing enemies, you actually want to kill that enemy before the green cloud does, because the green cloud doesn't count as a headshot kill, so that enemy's just gonna get back up, which is annoying because then they can shoot you in the back later down the road. Now, in the past, there has been a green smoke glitch, so things like public executions and certain missions where there's a defensible objective can be destroyed by that green smoke. I don't know if they have this fixed for this season, but it has been on the known issues board forever. So I want to insert a quick note when it comes to methods for farming exotics. Countdown still actually nets more exotics per hour than a global event with all 5 directives, typically. But if you're running a global event with a group and your group is extremely efficient and you're farming something very specific, you can outperform Countdown when it comes to how many exotics you get per hour. But aside from running a perfect squad in a perfect scenario, Countdown is only about 15 to 20 minutes. It's extremely casual. You're getting lots of loot and you don't need to run directives. So farming global events is only second to that when it comes to exotics. But global events have an advantage over Countdown, and that is just general XP farming. See, Countdown doesn't give good XP, but because some of these events like Reanimated make gameplay so easy because of their multipliers to your damage and the added survivability that the game mode has, that you're able to crank up those directives for all of that extra XP, and you just have to run a build that is suitable for those modifiers. Simple enough, I got one for you here. So if you're newer to the game, then these events are extremely important. You don't really want to miss them because this is how you get to where you need to be in the end game fastest. It's easier to run directives during these events, and that's how we get our massive watches. And at the same time, you're getting named item caches, you're getting that mini rewards track, you're getting exotics, but you're loading up that watch, and those watch points can be spent on the scavenging category in your watch for more resources. And those resources can then be pumped into your optimization, your weapon optimization, your gear optimization, or your expertise system. Eventually, it all leads to the expertise system. Moreover, why this is more of an advantage over Countdown, if you have multiple characters, or what we call as mules, they're also leveling up at the same rate you're leveling up your main character with all of those directives. So that turns out to be lots of resources, and why a lot of experienced players who know this don't have resource issues. We take advantage of these global events. If you're new to the game, I hope that helps you. And as a final tip, the goal should be to have all 4 characters, so your main plus 3 mules, by the time you reach roughly 2,000 on your watch. Thank you for hanging out with me today. My name is Tuxedo Bandido. That's Tito Bandido.
What's crack-a-lackin'?
This was another episode of The Division 2. If you found this video helpful, subscribe, like, and turn on notifications to ensure you don't miss out on the fantastic experiences waiting for you in The Division 2. And if you like builds like this, check out the recommended build video I have here for you. If you have anything you want to see covered, be sure to let me know in the comments below. And thank you to all the channel members and donors who make everything possible. Tux Nation wouldn't be without you.
When you buy a game from Ubisoft, enter the creator code Tuxedo Bandido to support the channel. Easy peasy. Now maybe this cheapskate can afford to sign me up for that dating app I've had my eyes on.
Follow me.
I get it.